Hey, what is going on, my friend out there on internet land? It's Brando Linick here, and you're searching for how to start your own small gardening business. It's a really good question, and in this business model review, as if we were speaking from business person to business person face to face here, I'm going to be talking about how people are making money doing this. I'm going to be talking about really some core principles that you have to know and you're going to want to pay attention to that will help you overcome a lot of the hurdles and setbacks that people tend to have when it comes to building a business, not just gardening, but business in general, okay? And this will save you like 2 years of a learning curve that I had to go through because I didn't know this, okay? So you're going to want to pay attention. The whole idea is really to give you a nice, clear idea on, if this business model is right for you by the end of this video. But with a small gardening business, there's a million different approaches you could take. One of the core foundations that I've come across from people who have done this, who have made a lot of money versus people who haven't made that much money, is the people who have made a lot of money, they had big pieces of land, alright? Yes, some of them started out of their backyards, but a lot of them had lots of, land. And they had a lot of land. They either bought plots or they bought lots, okay, of land. And from that point on, they found a niche. And what do I mean by niche? They found out what it is that the marketplace needed, whether this was with a farmer's market, alright, that they built a relationship with or they talked to. So you can go to your local farmer's market and you can ask them, what the competition is offering for a certain fruit, for a certain flower, for a certain vegetable. And you can ask them, and then you can cut your prices down a little bit because you'll have more land, you'll have more volume, which means you'll make more sales. So what this individual did, my friend, is they went to a farmer's market. Okay, this is just one example I can share with you. A local grocer, alright, just a small grocer, farmer's market, and they went there, they asked them that question, what it was that, was selling the most, what was more popular, but also what was costing them a lot of business, alright, more money out of their pocket than a return. And from that point on, they realized that strawberries were a big deal. So what they did was they went back because they bought a piece of land, a couple acres, and they started a strawberry field pretty much. And from that point, they harvested the strawberries, that was their garden, and then they sold it to that farmer's market. They sold it to that small grocer, and they started doing business that way. And ever since then, his business has exploded. He's built a brand name for himself, and he's been able to keep it. But when I said niche, he found one problem, and he catered to that one problem. He didn't have potatoes, flowers, grass. He didn't have carrots, okay? He catered to strawberries because he knew that that was a problem by asking if there was a problem and providing a solution. So that's one approach that you could take when it comes to this. When it comes to it, if you have any questions, alright, more detail, comment below and I will send you more detail. But that is just one example from my personal life experience that I can share with you on a gardening business. From a business standpoint though, you got to keep in mind it takes a long time to grow things. It takes a long time to harvest. And it's not to say anything's bad, but if you have a frost, if it's really rainy, alright, your crop's not going to grow as much. So you might want to keep it enclosed, which can cost you, a couple 10,000, not couple 10,000, that didn't make sense, but thousands of dollars, okay? And that's something you got to be aware of with the business model, which is why if you're looking at this because you want to be your own boss, you want to create your own income, you want to quit your job, if that is really what you're looking for, just create an extra income stream, I've got a lead I want to throw your way, and you can take this or leave it, but before you consider starting a small gardening business, before you do, alright, the lead I'm throwing your way is really what happened to me going back about 2 years ago when I came across an individual who was making a multiple six-figure income business without supplies, without equipment, without employees, without waiting for a harvest, without depending on weather, alright, and because they weren't reliant on those things, making a multiple six-figure income business off the internet, right from their computer, I began to model and copy them. And in less than 3 months, less than 90 days, I was able to, for myself and family, create a full-time income business working part-time. Not average, not typical, not guaranteeing you the same results. I worked really hard, had to learn things like you'd have to do in any business if you're not willing to do that. Business is not right for you. I'm just going to call you out right then and there. If you're not willing to work hard, you're not willing to learn, business is not right for you. Business is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Business, you can't push a button and get rich overnight. But in 90 days, I was able to create that change, and a full-time income, was able to come my way working part-time, and I worked really hard. And I share that with you because if you want to build a business to be your own boss, you want to create leverage, time freedom, wealth for your family, whether that's an extra $1,000, an extra $5,000, $10,000 a month, learn to build a business on the internet where you don't need supplies, equipment, employees, where you can increase your profit margins and decrease your overhead and risk. And it's not the only way to go, but it's the best tip I could give you. And there's a lot of noise out there online. I would encourage you find and connect with someone who's already doing it and just model and copy what they're doing, because it wasn't until I did that I had a breakthrough. And if it worked for me, it can definitely work for you. reviews. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you've got questions, you know where to put them. If you'd like to learn more information about building a business and income online from home, you can always check out my site. It's 123marketingtips.com. The link will be in the description below, and I'll see you on the beaches of the world. Take care.